Thank you! We just become best friends? Yup!
Marty Pinch's SR has just boarded the plane.
What? Thank you! We just become best friends? Yup!
Luis Miguel Hernandez Ariano has just boarded the plane.
What? Thank you! We just become best friends? Yup!
Fabio I Fly has just boarded the plane.
What? Thank you! We just become best friends? Yup!
Frankie Stein has just boarded the plane.
Hey guys, how's it going? Skylord. Are you ready for it? I will say this before we start. This book was voted the most, worst book by the community of Fighting Fantasy readers. Out of all the books, out of all the series, this one was voted as number 1, the worst. So, is it really though? Is that a fair assessment of this book? Hey? Let's find out. Let's find out. Let's see what happens, shall we? Boom. Hello everyone, welcome to another Fighting Fantasy Fest-Off, and today we're doing Skylord, and I pointed in the right direction this time. Skylord. This was written by, I think, a guy called Martin Allen. Martin Allen. And it was illustrated inside by a guy called Tim Sell, which the pictures are pretty decent. The cover illustration was done by Les Edwards, and he's a classic Fighting Fantasy, illustrator. So, but yeah, this has been voted as not a very good book by the community. But is that a fair judge of the book? We're gonna find out today. So how's it going, everybody? Welcome in. Greg, haven't seen you for a while. Wargaming Dad, Jack, Matt, Ram Street, hello. I think you might be a first timer here. This is one of my top 10 books, so underrated it is. Read it as though it's a parody of Fighting Fantasy. It will make more sense that way. As a parody of, it's set in space, so it's not your classic Fighting Fantasy Down on Titan, but it's more like Starship Traveler, I think. But how far will we get long enough to fully appreciate how bad it is? Exactly. The dice haven't been kind to us lately. Adam, thank you for starting 2 hours earlier than usual. Yes, wow. So a majority of the people that watch me are from Australia. So I think it's only fair that we kind of adhere to their schedule. And I think 10 a.m., although it's only 2 hours, I think it has been appreciated. So we will always be starting at 10 a.m. from now on. Just so, Australians can tune in before they go to bed. So they can have sweet dreams of Fighting Fantasy. Or nightmares, depending on which one. So yeah. Rhymester, how's it going, mate? Look at this cover. Look at this cover. Again, George Lucas is just ripping off Fighting Fantasy. That honestly looks like, from the Phantom Menace, the one alien, I think it's called Sebel or something like that. It looks like his pod racer. This book was written in 1988. So this was written long before they were even concept drawing that out. But we all know that the artist who created Darth Maul first worked for Fighting Fantasy and created a character on the City of Thieves cover which resembles Darth Maul so much, but in a bone form. Again, I just feel like George is pulling from Fighting Fantasy. I think George Lucas is a giant Fighting Fantasy fanatic. That's why all his Star Wars films fantasy, and it could be set in a futuristic Fighting Fantasy world, I believe. Who knows? Guys, we are 1 week away from getting the new Fighting Fantasy book, Dungeons of Blood Island, right? 1 week away. The book comes out, I believe, on the 7th, is it? Next Saturday? Something, I don't know. When it comes out, we'll be doing it. I think it's the 15th we do it. Because the 15th is 2 weeks away, so we will do it. And I might think about doing it on the Sunday after it comes out. We'll just see. We'll just see on that. But we will be doing it as soon as it comes out, guys. Just think, right now, all the books are most likely being transported to like Amazon warehouses and the shops that it'll be sold in. Like, it's on its way, packed, printed, you know, and it's on its way. Like, how amazing is that? I missed that message you retracted, mate. Is that critter on the book even a character in the book? No, I don't think so, actually. I don't know. Flaming Heron, how's it going, mate? Matt G, welcome in. He's ready to kill us after the first 3 or 4 random decisions. So you expect to have it on day? Yes. I've ordered it from Amazon. Pre-ordered it, right? And it says that I will receive it on the day of release. So, the day before it's due to come out, they will dispatch it to me. So, that means they have to have it in their warehouse 2 or 3 days prior to process all these dispatches. So that means the books are right now winging their way to the distribution centers. They're all been printed off and they're winging their way to, you know, where they're then going to be sent off to shops and customers. So I will have it day 1, which is the 7th, I believe. Let me just check on that order. Let's just have a look at that order, shall we? Let's have a look up on it. Amazon orders. There it is. The Dungeon on Blood. Oh, it says arriving the 12th of September. What? Hang on a second. Is it due? Have they delayed the release date or something? Pre-order price guarantee. Yep. Get it the day it comes out. This title will be released on September the 12th. I am sure that said September the 7th when I ordered it. I'm wondering if they pushed the date back a bit. I swear that said. Oh, look, guys, you can... It says here, click for an expanded view. So, obviously, you can see the front cover, but you can also see the back cover, right? And it says, jealous of Baron Succumbit's death trap. Guys, I'm reading from Dungeon of Blood Island now. It says, jealous of Baron Succumbit's death trap dungeon, Lord Karnus forced 600 shackled souls to build the ultimate dungeon on Blood Island. He filled the labyrinth with savage creatures and deadly traps and offered the fabled prize of the golden orb of Fang to any brave adventurer who could find it and escape from the dungeon alive. Are you brave enough to enter the dungeon on Blood Island? And then it's got 3 other pages. How will you start your adventure? And then it's just like the usual blurb, you know, the book you hold in your hand, you are the hero, yada yada yada. It's got a map, right? It's got a map in it, so you can see Port Backsand, the Desert of Skulls, Skull Island, all this, Moonstone Hills. I believe that map is the same map that features in another book. It looks like it, but that's all it says there. So there you go. 12th of September now, yeah. 12th. So I will be having it on the 12th, which means we have to read it on the 15th. I swear that said the 7th when it came out, though. But maybe not. Maybe I got that wrong. So there we go, guys. You are the hero. Celebrate 40 years since Death Trap Dungeon. How old do you guys feel now? Like, 40 years since book number 5, isn't it? Death Trap Dungeon is book number 6. 40 years. There's 272 pages. What? Hang on a second. 272 pages. Oh, well, yeah. Because there'd be 400 entries. Sorry. 272 pages, though. So there we go. That's all there is to see on that. So might as well just come off that. So there we are. Thought we killed him in the end of the Trial of Champions. He rises from the ashes. Okay? Lord Karnus is a Lord... Looks like Amazon UK exclusive, because I don't see it available for pre-order in Canada. No way! Mate, tune in on the 15th. We'll read it, alright? And I won't be reading it when it arrives. I will be looking at it for the first time on stream on the 15th. Like, I'm not even going to touch it. I'm not even going to open it. I will sniff it for the first time on the 15th. All right? Definitely. I'm not going to touch it. I swear to every god out there. All right? So we definitely will be doing it, mate. Your local bookstore is online. I pre-ordered it here in Singapore from a local store. Yeah. So that's like in 2 weeks' time, guys. That's our next book we're doing. How exciting is that? A new Fighting Fantasy release. Honestly, I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it. Because I know. I want to read it. You'll be watching the stream on the 15th. Mate, I hope so, yeah. Because I'm going to have to do something special. It's a new release. We got to do something. I might dress up. Yes, I'm going to dress up. I'm gonna dress up. I'm gonna do something special. I might get some mood lighting in here. You know, some real sort of ooh, put a candle below my face. You know, I'm gonna do something special. It's gonna be like a release stream. Well, it can't be a release stream because I get it like 3 days previous. But yeah, I won't be. Frankie, how's it going, mate? What is the new release? Dungeon on Blood Island is a new Fighting Fantasy book coming out. Like, the last book we had, which was this one. Well, there was 2 releases, to be honest. They released 2 of them back to back. Secrets of Salmonus and Shadow of the Giants. This was like 2 years ago, I think. These came out like both together 2022. So that was the last books we had. But on the 12th of September, we're getting a brand new one. So definitely, mate, definitely. Let me turn my chair so you can see my books. Let me just sit. Yeah, there we go. That's better, isn't it? That's how I usually sit, I think. Anyway, so Skylord today, guys. Skylord. Ian's got his Hawaiian shirt on the back cover there. I should have worn my Hawaiian shirt. I don't have one ready. I will wear my Hawaiian shirt next time, guys. Guaranteed. It's got some weird stuff on the... As soon as you open this book up, it's got some weird shit there. Look at that. I don't know what the hell that is. I obviously have done a little first look at this book many moons ago, but I can't remember. Can't remember what that means, but it's like start side, finish side. One says mutant, one says glip, the other one says scuttlebug. Whatever that is. So this is book number 33. 33. Now, it's got a little section about the starship. So before we even create a character, I'm just going to quickly read through what this is. It's a couple of pages long. I will say that. Then we'll look at our abilities and create our character. So get ready, guys. Let me make sure everything's set up here. Correct. There we go. Sweet home Alabama. It says here, you guys are the Skylord. Lord Yang Mistral. Elite solar trooper, special agent, and 4-armed humanoid warrior from the 16th eon. Your home planet, Encelina, is just one of the countless thousands of worlds inhabiting the famous Hollow Faluksh star chain. A dazzling spray of more than 100,000 live stars and innumerable planetoids bordering the Berenices supergalaxy. Some of these worlds either baking in the wild solar flares of nearby suns or wandering the bitterly cold galactic wastes are only lifeless husks. These are of little value to anyone except the ruthless galactic pirates and space desperados who use them for their evil purpose. Yet there exist many other worlds less daunting, with kinder climates and hospitable environments. On many of these, a wonderfully diverse array of life forms have established themselves. Your own race, the Ensilvars, is a blood mix of two ancient nations. The Dawn-time Enzuls, the planet's original inhabitants, and the Ivars, a war clan from Ajax Green. So this sounds a bit like Vikings and Saxons put together, doesn't it? The Ivors invaded Encelina during the Second Eon, and first defeating and later mixing into the more populous Enzul race, or, if you like, the British and the Aborigines, if you're down south. The resulting nation of grey-eyed, four-armed humanoids retained the best traits of their ancestors. The culture and wisdom of the Enzuls, and the courage of the Ivars. As a result, they have been respected and admired by the inhabitants of many other planets in the star system, particularly the two-armed people, and enjoyed a peaceful existence for many years. Now, during the 12th Eon, however, a vast galactic war suddenly broke out. Two powerful races, the Feps, greedy two-headed reptiloids, and the Deek, D-E-I-K, Deek, large purple molluscoids of unknown origins. Always deadly rivals, had secretly amassed mighty armies and space fleets. Simultaneously, their armadas stormed across the galaxy at each other, destroying or conquering the planets in their path. The war raged for thousands of years, during which time Encelina was conquered by the merciless Deek. I'm so glad I'm not an Australian saying this word, Deek, because it'd come out like Deck, wouldn't it? The Ensilvars were enslaved and forced to produce war machinery for their captors. Only gradually, following wave upon wave of murderous assaults on each other, did the strength of the Deek and the Feps begin to wane. In the 13th Aeon, the enslaved races of thousands of worlds were sparked to revolution. Led by Ari Skyfarer, a human from Arbitract, they rapidly ousted their cruel masters and employing the weaponry they had previously been forced to build. They finally drove both the Deek and Feps from the star system. The end of the war signaled the beginning of the long peace which has lasted to this very day. Ari Skyfarer, the greatest galactic hero of all, was crowned first Grand Emperor, and in order to maintain a lasting peace, the Council of Star Kings was formed. The council, whose members include the kings of many worlds, including your own King Vox, usually meets every 500 days at the Grand Emperor's Palace on Abritrak. There the council tries to resolve peacefully any disputes between its member planets and reaffirms its intention to defend its planets from alien threats. This is sounding too much like Phantom Menace and the Galactic Alliance and the Trade Federation. And dude, this is literally Phantom Menace so far. Are we going to have a couple of warriors who come in a minute? Like, this just sounds like the meetings, doesn't it? Like Sex for Six. Yeah. It's more like New Zealander. I know what's wrong with my mouth today, guys. Tongue-tied. Disputes between its members reaffirms its intention to defend its planets from alien threats, galactic pirates, and intergalactic invaders. The latter functions are performed by the Emperor's Imperial Guard, or are they dressed in red? Or by the heroic Solar Troopers, of whom you're a member. So basically, it sounds like we're a member of Squadron 6, you know, the Rogue Squadron. On Encelina, the title of Lord is not a birthright, but must be earned in some way. So kind of like, you know, when you're training as a Jedi, you have to earn the right to call yourself like Padawan and Master and all that. It was your exceptional skill and courage shown when fighting in your ranks of the Solar Troopers, or are they Stormtroopers, which earned you your first lordship title, that of a Knight of Enselina. We are a Jedi Knight. When you were only 20 years old, guys. Pretty badass. Warrior monks, basically. 20 years old, we're kicking ass. Since that time, your fellow peers, the Lords of Enselina, you know, Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon, have often employed you as a special agent. We are definitely a Jedi Knight, performing hazardous and extremely secret missions to ensure the security of Enselina and the friendly worlds. Because of your accomplishments, you have been honored with further titles. The latest, that of Sky Baron, being awarded after capturing the murderous Olaf Tharkin. Tharkin sounds a bit like Tarkin. And his band of solar cutthroats, the Empire. But now you have been summoned to appear before King Vax and your fellow lords, or is that Queen Amidala, to be briefed on a new mission, the most perilous, most challenging, and most unusual adventure of your career. Are we going to have to bodyguard some, you know, beautiful young princess maiden? Failure will bring disaster for Enselina. Success will bring you a treasure beyond your wildest dreams. However, before you can receive details of your mission, you must learn how to use your special skills and weapons and your starship. I thought we were kick-ass. Now we got to learn how to do it, which will assist you during your course of your adventure. You will also require 2 dice. Here we go. There's it. A pencil and an eraser. Well, I use a pen to record your scores and equipment gained along the way. That's just not even the intro, guys. That's just the here's the backstory of the world. You know, it might as well have just said go watch Phantom Menace 1, you know, and then fall in love and become Dark Lord Vader. Yeah, basically, this is Phantom Menace, man. George Lucas, mate, you ain't writing anything original, are you? Total rip of this book, Phantom Menace. This book came out years before. I mean, they obviously they liked Star Wars, so they ripped from that. So he went, man, you're gonna rip from me, I'm gonna rip from you, and so began the Rip War. You fought in the Rip Wars? Yes, I was once a fighting fantasy knight, just like your father. Oh, and he wanted me to give you something. Here. It was after you. Right, okay. So, let's roll for our character, shall we? Skill. Roll 1 die, add 6. I rolled a 5. That's 11, guys. That's a good start. That's a really good start. Whew. And then we got 2 dice and add 12 for our stamina. I rolled a 7. I think I rolled that last time, didn't I? Which is 19. Sure I did that last time. And then it's luck time. I roll 1 dice, add 6, and I rolled a 5. That's 11 as well. Guys, we're legs 11 here. 2 11s and a 19. Boom. So, what else have we got? It says restoring stamina. During the course of your adventure, you are almost certain to lose stamina. You can recover these by consuming provision tablets at any time, which isn't on the adventure sheet. You begin your adventure with 10 provision tablets, so I better put that in. Meal. I'll just put meals because we all know what that means. So 10 provision tablets, guys, and each tablet that we pop, each pill we take, will give us 4 points of stamina. All right. Do we still have the Y-shaped stick from Fire Top Mountain? Mate, you're in love with that, ain't it? Hey, Yellow, how's it going? Imagine what would have happened if Luke had pushed the button the other way and the lightsaber No, I think you're meaning if he'd held the lightsaber the other way, because the button for the lightsaber is a one direction only. Luke's or Anakin's lightsaber wasn't like Darth Maul's that could come out either end. It was a one end only. You imagine if Obi-Wan had handed it to him the other way around, you know what I mean? Or, as he handed it to him, Luke had pushed the button and bloody killed Ben, honestly. I mean, you give a kid who's never touched a lightsaber in his life a lightsaber? Honestly. Luke, just be careful with that, right? Just push the button, but hold it away from you. It's got a thing that comes out and it could kill anything. Like, yeah, father's lightsaber. Have fun. Bye. Like, yeah, that was a little bit weird. But I tell you what is good. If you watch that scene, you can see Alec Guinness's performance. And knowing, obviously, if you've watched all the other films, knowing what he's actually saying, he actually does act that way as well. You know, it's perfect. You know, he looks at Luke like, I'm fucking lying to you, boy. And he has that look on his face like he's lying. It's so, honestly, obviously prepped by George. He was like, yeah, I've got a story here, Alec, and I want you to play it this way. Trust me. Well, whatever you say, George. And it's like, I think that's probably how it went. I tell you what, I remember watching this thing, an interview with Mark Hamill back literally before Return of the Jedi came out. It was Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher. They were on some sort of kids talk show, you know, Wake Up America or something, right? And they were being interviewed, and the interviewer goes, so, you know, you've got another film come out. And he goes, yes, it's Revenge of the Jedi, right? And they both laughed, and because this was before the title change. And then he goes, and then George has got another 3 films lined up where we go back and see how young Vader grew up. Right? And honestly, like, that was back in the 80s he was saying this. So, yeah, it was a pretty interesting interview, to be honest. Mark Hamill, like, dropping the prequels before even George Lucas thought to write them. Whoa, screen's gone weird. What was that all about? Hang on, I think I better kill that program that's there. That's what's doing it. He looked like he knew what the entire story was. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Right, okay, so restoring stamina, done. Money, it says we begin our adventure with 10 credits. So we got a bit of money, guys. And it's the most common galactic currency, credits. So, now there's 2 types of combat here. There's personal combat, which we're just going to use our regular rules for. But then, there's also weapon combat clashes. So when you fight an opponent who has a rating, this is your starship, by the way, now. It's not mentioning it, but bloody hell, what's going on with my voice? Your voice is going? Right. It says here, when you fight an opponent who has a rating and a number for lasers and shields listing in the text, you're involved in a combat weapon clash. Whatever that means. Unlike personal combat, these encounters usually involve fighting between sophisticated combat vehicles, one of which will be piloted by you guys. So the way it goes is basic rules for combat weapon clashes. Unlike personal combats, they are not simultaneous. To determine which craft will fire first, you have to compare the ratings to your opponent's rating. If your rating number is greater than your opponent's, you get to shoot first. Otherwise, your opponent shoots first. The one who fires first is the attacker. So you roll 1 die. And then if the result is equal to or less than the number of lasers on the attacker's weapon, he has scored a hit. Oh man, it's so fucking confusing. So you roll a dice. So let's say we're the attacker. You roll a dice. We look at our ship. It's got we start with 4 lasers, by the way. So if we rolled, say, a 2, it's less. We score a hit, they deduct 2 shields. Or vice versa. Okay. Right. Then the defender gets to retaliate, so you roll again. If the result is less or than the number of lasers, they have scored a hit. So it's always... Does anybody understand the combat rules in this? Continue the combat from step 2 until someone's dead. Hang on, does it say, if you win the combat, you may reinstate the shields of your combat weapon to their value before combat began, since the energy bank quickly regenerates. Right, so it does say you die if you die in your ship. If your ship dies during combat, we're dead. It doesn't actually state, you know. It says at the beginning of your adventure, you are equipped with a starship. The Star Spray, it's called. I mean, not a very nice, good name, is it? Star Spray? Even if you're reading it, it makes 0 sense. You were equipped with a starship, the Star Spray. A plan is shown on page 20. So that's our ship, guys, right there. It honestly looks like a Rogue One squadron fighter. This is a bloody X-Wing, isn't it? Looking down on it. Honestly. Beginning to realise why this book is rated as the worst. So it's Star Spray. It says data. 4 high-powered lasers and 12 force shield pods. So basically, our starship has a skill of 4 and a stamina of 12 is what it's saying. And when you're fighting starships, whoever's got the best rating gets to shoot first. And where does it say the rating? It doesn't. We don't have a fucking rating. Starship, it doesn't give a rating for us. I mean, it says combat vehicle weapons and all that. Shields, lasers, and rating. But we're not given a bloody rating here. Maybe it does later on, it says here. If your opponent's rating number... Oh, wait, it's the rating against the lasers, isn't it? Right. It's gotta be. Oh, shit. Right. I missed out a section, guys. Whoops. You gotta roll for that shit. I missed out an important step here, guys. It's one of the best, Ram says, guys. We're spraying all over our enemies. Yeah, cat spray. I actually missed a section out. That's on me. So let's rewind before the rules of combat. It says you've already attained a good proficiency. Okay, because we're the pilots, right? Or a good rating in piloting many combat vehicles. Roll 1 die to determine your rating. Kind of hidden, that is. Right, we roll a die. I rolled a 2. Guys, that's not good. If you roll a 1, 2, or 3, your rating equals 3. So we got a rating of 3, guys. It says if you roll a 4, 5, or 6, your rating equals 4. So you can either be a 3 or a 4. We're a 3. So when we come across another starship, we both check out our ratings. If ours is higher, we shoot first. We roll 1 die. If the result is less than how many lasers we have, it damages. They lose 2 shields. If it is above, we miss. And then we have to roll for them to attack us. It sounds pretty simple now. I've got it. Okay. So 4 high-powered lasers, 12 force shield pods. If you want me to eat a meal, in capitals, put the word meal in chat, and we will eat a meal and give us ourselves 4 points of stamina. Our initial is 19. Man, I need a break. Fucking reading all that. Going through all that, man, I'm telling you. Has that... Alright, put hands up in chat. Who has read this book? Has anybody read this book? Or put in chat if you've not read the book. Alright? It's been a while, Flaming Heron says. Yellow's not Reddit. Wargaming Dad's not Reddit. Ram Street says he's read it hundreds of times. It's amazing. Flaming Herod says, all I remember is I hated it. Matt G says, I started it many years ago, but haven't finished it. Do you know what? Maybe the reason people don't like it is because they don't understand it. Or they've never really properly given it a chance. Who knows? But it did get voted #1, So far, my impressions are that it's just the Phantom Menace. And we're a Jedi Knight. Like, it sounds exactly like the Phantom Menace storyline. Or the Phantom Menace storyline sounds very similar to this, is probably how I should say that. It's worst of all time or ahead of its time. Exactly, Matt. We're looking at this with older eyes now. With glaucoma eyes. So maybe we won't see how bad it is. It is a parody, Ramstead. It's a parody. This is meant to be like the Naked Gun of the police films, isn't it? This is the Naked Gun of fighting fantasy. You haven't read it too many times a long time ago. In a galaxy far, far away. Right, F's in the chat if you want me to start reading the mission background, guys. And I'm going to start the clock. Boom. The time has started. The name El Bastin, even if only whispered, El Bastin, would certainly cause the faces of the Ensilvar Palace staff to flush with anger. From poor King Vox, however, it would bring an uncontrollable outburst of such ferocity that the employment of a large hypodermic tranquilizer might well be advisable for his own well-being. So El Bastin is a bit of a dude. Of course, it's not always been like this. In fact, there has been a time when old bastard, the now infamous galactic renegade, Han Solo, and Scourge of Encelina had enjoyed a much more friendly relationship with your king. In those days, he had occupied a position of authority and prestige as Vax Major Domo. His responsibilities had included the employment and supervision of the king's entire household staff, a job which he handled with due skill and diligence for a number of years. But then, he took up a new hobby. Cybernetics and genetic engineering. That's a hobby? Fucking hell. And his attitude changed dramatically. In order to pursue his leisure time activity, El Bastino had to build a laboratory and equip it with many varieties of cloning, fusing, and transforming hardware. He's beginning to sound like a James Bond villain now. And then he bought important scientific publications. Of course, all this required a large amount of money. Of course, yeah. Is he siphoning it off the king? After running up sizable debts, El Bastin approached King Vox and begged for an increase in his modest wage. Yo, King, I need some extra credits, mates. I know I get paid like 10,000 credits for wiping your ass, but can I have 1 million a month from now on, please? I've got a project in the basement I need some money for. Don't worry, you won't regret it. Following years of faithful service, he considered that he had earned it. The king gives it to him. Oh yeah, mate, you've gone through some right tough times with me. I've asked you to do some horrendous stuff. Of course you can have an upgrade of money. Here, 1 million a month from now on. The timer's running, guys. Timer's running. This is like Boba Fett now. Clone Army. Yeah, basic. Dude, it's all the prequels rolled into one. We're already moved on now to Attack of the Clones. Oh my god. George Lucas, mate, you're just such a rip. I'm sorry. We've caught you out for your inspiration. The worst fighting fantasy book is a trilogy of Star Wars films. What world have we slipped into? The artful Vox, however, steadfastly refused, claiming... Oh no, he didn't give it to him. He said, sorry mate, I'm taking it back off you. Sorry. Moment of madness. Sorry, you haven't earned it. Steadfastly refused, claiming that in the interests of the national... Hang on, he said, though, he can... Oh, sorry, it was bloody Bastino thought he'd earned it. Right. Steadfastly refused, claiming that in the interests of national economy, virtually no one in Ensalina had been allowed a pay rise for over 200 years. Fucking hell. No minimum wage increase for over 200 years? Jeez. Better prices of like local bread and milk have gone up though. To grant one El Bastin, he argued, could set a dangerous precedent which would undermine the entire economy to the mutual disbenefit of all. In other words, if you ask for it, everyone's going to ask for it, and I'll be poor by the end of it. So no, forget it. I'm not giving any more money to people. They earn a wage, they do their job, end of story. Now go and run my bath, peasant. El Bastin, who believed that these were merely the words of a stingy ruler, tight fist, was infuriated. Show him. The economy, as everyone well knew, had never been in better shape. In retaliation, the crafty courtier devised a scheme whereby he could obtain the money he needed for his creditors while simultaneously causing his tight-fisted monarch some inconvenience. I'll just go to payday.com instead. The scheme went like this. On the pretext of maintaining exceptionally high standards of behaviour among the palace catering staff, El Bastin began dismissing the stewards for trivial misdemeanors. Right, well, if you ain't gonna pay me, I'll fire his staff. I mean, not a very good plan. Why don't, like, you get rid of the staff without the king knowing it and then take their wages? That would be a better plan. Upon receiving their marching orders, these unfortunates were immediately escorted from the premises and informed that, if they were ever to return, they would face a speedy execution. Dude, what the hell? I'm sorry. Yes. Young Latino, come into the office. It seems you've not been doing your job properly. I'm just a sweeper. I sweep the floor. Yes, but you haven't been using the right broom. So we're going to have to let you go, I'm afraid. What, for not using the right broom? Well, which broom do you want me to use and I'll use it? I'm sorry, it's too late now. You've had enough chances. You're out of here. And by the way, if you ever come back, I'm going to kill you. Sorry, mate. That's a little bit much, isn't it? Fucking hell. In their place, the wily El Bastin substituted creations from his own laboratory. But how did he have the funding for all of it? Because that's what he wanted the king for. Money for clones. Where did he craft his clone army from if he had no money? Don't make sense, does it? Has he got like another sponsorship somewhere else? You know? These obliged their master faithfully by investing their weekly wages with him. So basically, fires the staff, replace it with clones, and then the money goes to him. So kind of a bit like what I said. So fair enough. I think his way was better, actually. So after his... Hang on. Imagine if one of the staff members, like a week later, goes, "Oh, mate, sorry, I forgot to empty me locker. Do you mind if I just come in?" Whoa, he looks like me. What's going on here? Why have you got a dude who looks exactly like me here? Do you know what I mean? Like, somewhere somebody would find this out, I feel, you know? After his initial successes with the stewards, El Bastin set about dealing with other palace staff with equal fervor. Why didn't he just replace the king? Do you know what I mean? Just take the king and, like, kill him, replace him with a clone, and then he can have all the money he wants. The fact that many of his creations resembled dismissed staff was no mere coincidence, and within a surprisingly short space of time, he was receiving pay packets from chefs, chauffeurs, guards, groundsmen, and even the king's personal advisors and henchmen, all without arousing the least suspicion. And then at night, he's counting his money going, he doesn't even know. Honestly. These are not the clones you're looking for. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, he basically... What a bastardo. He basically created his own little clone army, you know? Dude, this is the story of Cypherus DS, isn't it? With his supplementary income thus assured, Lil Bastard got himself released from debt. For a while, he contented himself... Oh, right, sorry. He'd gotten himself into debt because he'd made a few clones or the technology, and so he needed to get himself out of debt, and he didn't want to go to gambling, like like, you know, what is it, You Bet or whatever it's called, you know, the website where you bet gambling, because it's just, that's a slippery slope. So, yeah, okay, I'm with you. I feel like this is not where it should be. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello, you're live on Adam FM. Okay. For a while, he contented himself with engineering whimsical creatures for his own amusement. The spider fly and the gigantic fanged armadillo-bodied rhinoceros. Oh, that is a... Dude, I need to see that. Has anybody got any AI? Has anybody got any AI on their phone? I haven't got, like, an AI program. Oh, I used to have this art AI thing. I don't know if I still have it. Photography. No, I don't have it. If you guys have got some AI programs, I want you to put in right now a gigantic fanged armadillo-bodied rhinoceros. I want to see what the hell that is. In fact, let's type that into Google and see what Google comes up with. Right, this is going to be mental. Gigantic fanged armadillo bodied rhinoceros. Look at that, it even knows I'm about to type in rhinoceros. Right, images. I'll drop this into the chat. We actually do have an image, guys. It's a legit thing, by the way. An armadillo rhinoceros. I don't know if this is legit. I'm going to put this in Discord, guys, if you want to see what I'm looking at. There's two pictures. One of them doesn't look like an armadillo. Actually, it's hairy, so that doesn't look right. But the other one does. So, let me drop this into the tavern. Okay? If anybody else has any pictures, please put them in. Oh, that one's a WEP file. Yeah, that's the best one as well. Let me save it as a PNG. Bloody WEP. There we go. That's one of them. And then the other one is this one. One's a bit better than the other, to be fair. But yeah. So there we go. I've put them in Discord. Definitely a parody. If you guys have got any AI art creation things, please make a gigantic fanged armadillo-bodied rhinoceros. In particular, were sources of great satisfaction to him. Were great sources. Yeah, and put it in the Discord chat. Indeed, at the time, the chambers beneath his manor house fairly teemed with bizarre livestock. Eventually, however, Albastin grew dissatisfied. It's always got to be one better, and you never get satisfied. The ultimate, most rewarding experience, he concluded, could be derived only from the creation of the perfect life form, whatever that was. He grew determined to find out, although accomplishing the task would consume a considerable amount of money and require the acquisition of some extremely sophisticated equipment indeed in order to create Yoda. Purchasing a brand new metamorphosal hydrolyzer special required an enormous financial outlay. So basically inventing the technology by the sounds of it. Even more than his dishonest tactics had afforded him thus far. Another money-making scheme was required. Gotta go one better. Elbastin ordered some of his henchmen to pilfer and then pawn a number of palace artworks. Can he clone the art as well and replace it? And the king will never know. Several antique porcelain vases were the first to go, followed by a crystal statuette. Honestly, he sounds like a druggie, and he's selling everything in his house to get the next fix. Personal property of the king this is, and a cosmoscope entitled Birth of a Star. Jesus. Since by now there were few reals left among the palace staff, and the king wakes up and everything's gone. He's like, where's all my furniture gone? Elbastin believed that the thefts would go unnoticed, and they would have too, if he had chosen someone other than his creation, Ben Frumpet. Ben, what a knob. Frumpet. Ben Frumpet. Where does that come from? To carry out the crime. Ben Frumpet. Ben Solo. One day, so this is Jar Jar Binks. Do you know what? I'm going to swap out the names for Star Wars names. So one day, when Jar Jar was in a local pawnbroker's establishment, haggling over a suitable price for the stolen cosmoscope, in walked the real Ben Frumpet. His identical namesake. The real Frumpet, one-time head chef, had been unemployed since his dismissal from the palace and had gone to the broker to hawk his gold watch. Oh, I've missed the... There we go. The real Frumpet suddenly twigged the situation, and after a brief protest, he stunned his fastest smile and dragged it off to the local constabulary. They had fun with the names. Thus, Elbastin's conning schemes, conniving, were finally exposed. His henchmen were weeded out and the original staff reinstated. Still haven't started the story yet, guys. For his crimes, the king punished Elbastin severely. After a not too lengthy trial, Vax sacked Elbastin from his post, ordering his laboratory to be demolished and his manor house confiscated. The former major domo was to be thrown into the streets. Oh my god. But Elbastin, seething with anger, had other ideas. I'll just clone them as well. Clearly, he would be soon forced to leave Encelina to continue his work. But first he planned a final mordant joke upon the king, now his sworn enemy. Disguising himself as a famous cosmetic surgeon, Elbastin visited the king's wife, Broomhilda, offering her beautifying treatment for an ugly bitch. Free of charge. I'll make you beautiful, girl. Naturally, Broomhilda accepted. Contrary, though, to his promised beautification, however, the despicable mastermind played an awful prank upon her. I'm getting a bit worried now. While she was upon the operating table, oh my god, what did he do? What did he do? Put a penis on her? What did he do? She was on the operating table. He turned her mouth upside down, put her eyes on her chin. Like, what do you think he did, guys? Put in the chat what you think he's done. I mean, if you've read the book, you already know. But don't put that, because that's boring. Right, here we go. What did he do? He carried out certain modifications to her, extending her nose by 10 inches, enlarging her eyes to the size of a small saucer, and discoloring them, one red, one green, and worst of all, grafting a large pineapple to her scalp. Fucking hell. Sadly, a process not entirely reversible, honestly. This cruel act was discovered only when the bandages were removed a week later, and by then he had fled the planet. Imagine that. Ooh, I'm gonna get a beauty treatment. I can't wait. Wakes up, completely mangled face, completely turned you into a pineapple head, and you're like this. You're like, did it work? Am I beautiful? Am I beautiful? Do you love me now more? Do I look sexy to you? Oh man, that hurts my eyes. Like, seriously. Oh man, evil wizard. Yeah, definitely, mate. Oh man, my eyes. That was pretty nasty, to be fair. She was an innocent, and he just completely screwed her over. You know, turned her into a Disney character, basically. This is like the most woman. This is like the most. What? This is like the most woman these days. Hey, what does that mean? So this is like most. Oh, so this is like most women these days. Sorry, mate. A word that I didn't read it right. That's my fault. So basically, yeah, turned her into a modern day woman. In fact, I've got a picture of what she looks like. I found this on the internet, and I had to. If this is beauty, I'm sorry, but I'm out. I'm done. If this is beauty, I'm putting it in the chat. I don't know if I should actually, now that I look at it. No, I shouldn't. No, I'm not going to actually. It's too. I'll quickly just show it you. It's going to be a quick show, guys. If this is beauty, I'm out. There you go, done. I can't. That's it. I don't want to distribute that, so we'll leave that there. All right, we'll leave it as it is. Okay. Like a woman from The Boys. That was so sad. Whew. Right. Despite the generous reward offered for his capture, little Bastin has remained hidden for years. During the past week, however, a bounty hunter has landed. Here we go. Boba Fett's on the case. Bringing startling news to Enselina. He claims to have tracked El Bastin to Arak, a man-built fortress world orbiting the galactic rim. Arak was abandoned by its makers centuries ago, following a massive radiation spill. I think we're into Revenge of the Sith now. Since then, you know, this sounds a bit like that planet they have the fight on at the end. Since then, it has become the abode of dreadful galactic cutthroats and varieties of apparent creatures, as well as many eccentric recluses. The bounty hunter captured and interrogated a mutant, obtaining from it the following information. Deep within the vaults of Arak, El Bastin has been long experimenting on the local livestock, breeding and refining their better traits, until recently he developed the perfect life form he sought after. Rumors say they have been terrifying dog-headed super warriors with brutal strength and electrifying speed, calling themselves Prefectatas. Prefectatas? Who knows? Erin Moriarty, if you know the Boys TV show. The before and after. Erin Moriarty. Yeah. I know the Boys TV show. Erin Moriarty. Is that German woman? I think. I don't remember a woman getting butchered, like, in the show. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious on planet Arak. Starlight. Wait, hang on a second. What the hell? The before and after of Starlight. She did it to herself. Guys, I'm lost, mate. She had plastic surgery. Oh, you talking about the real actress? Oh, right, yeah, she did look a bit weird in the current series. You're talking about the actress, not the character. Because the character didn't have any plastic surgery. Right, I'm with you now. It's the actress. She ruined herself, did she? Has she? I don't know. Let's have a look, shall we? I mean, Erin Moriarty, there we are. Image, yeah, she looks alright. No! Are you kidding me? That's not what she looks like now. She ain't gonna be in the next season of The Boys, is she? Dude, that doesn't... no, this has got... I mean, where is this from? The Mail Online. I mean, this can't be right. The actress 30 appeared on the 4th series. And significantly... Yeah, she lost a lot of weight. But she didn't look like that. That's another person. That's somebody else. I'm sorry, that this is clickbait bullshit. There is no way that that is her. And that other picture looks like it was taken when she was 5 years old. That looks like it's got a young filter on it. Do you know what? I don't believe the news. I've seen the latest season, and she looked thinner, but she didn't look bad. She didn't look like she had major surgery done to her face. You know? Oh, it always does that. So weird. Just keep up, mate. Keep up. Have we got past the introduction yet, mate? We haven't even got... No, we haven't. Honestly. 26 minutes. Fucking reading the introduction still. Right, we need to get through this. Come on. He fled the planet. Prefectors. Elbaston is busily cloning an army of them, which he will unleash upon the galaxy. Particularly, harsh treatment is planned for King Vax and the Ensilvars. So this dude, Vax, sounds a bit more like the Emperor or Palpatine than anybody else. Doesn't it? I will create a clone army for the Galactic Empire. Fortress Arak bristles with automatic missiles. What? Fortress Arak bristles with automatic missiles, lasers and pulsars, and is surrounded by energy shields and vacuum mines. So is that a mine that doesn't blow out? It sucks in? At present, it is impenetrable to invasion by a large force. But, as the bounty hunter has proved, a solitary craft may be able to pass through the screens. Exactly like what they say, isn't it, in Return of the Jedi? That is. The fishman, he goes, a large-scale assault shan't do it, but a small craft should be able to penetrate. Can't remember what he says now. May be able to pass through the screens and land undetected. Guess who's getting that job? Once down, the lone invader would need to destroy the planet's defense center located beneath the Dome of Marvels. The Dome of Marvels. Excelsior! Deep within the planet's interior. Only by... So we're actually now... We've gone past the prequels, and I think we're up to Force Awakens now, and it sounds like when they had to go to that Starkiller planet. Only by this means would an invasion fleet be able to land safely. The task ahead is fraught with danger, and only Enselina's most skillful agent, you, us, you, will have any chance of succeeding. Knowing that failure may cost billions of lives, still you have accepted the mission. Because we're absolute thick. If you succeed, however, the fabulous man-built world, Coruscant, will at last be decontaminated and repopulated, and you will be crowned its sovereign ruler, and we'll get to repopulate the planet. Just us. Oh yeah. Now the time has come for you to leave your home planet and travel to distant Arak in your starship. Arak sounds a bit like Anorak. So, one of the many good things about this book, the introduction and even the rules, have little to do with the actual adventure. Mate, are you kidding me, Ramsey Street? Seriously? Oh, look at that. Blast off, guys. We're blasting off now. That's it. It's done. I need bloody... Bloody hell. I need a kip now. Knackered. After reading all that. Bloody hell. Excuse me. Oh, it didn't work. I was hoping it would... the smoke would make it look cool, but it didn't work. Right. We have a little short rest, guys. Alright? You gather your equipment and you board your spaceship, the Star Spray, where you begin a quick... Ramsey, mate, is this supposed to be like Spaceballs more than Star Wars? Is that what it is? Are we going to get jammed? Jammed. After a short rest, you gather your equipment, get on your spaceship, where you begin a quick pre-programmed countdown sequence. 10, 9, and straight to 1, mate. Let's go. The energy banks hum. 8, 7, 6. Come on, tick-tock. Thrusters ignite. This is like SpaceX now, guys. Your seat judders. I've lost my place, guys. 5, 4, 3. Pulsars roar. Roar. A loudspeaker announces dimension hop imminent. 2, 1. Bang. It says. Darth helmet. Yeah, that's it, mate. Your home planet just disappears. Light speed. From the vidi screen. The sky is black and starless? That's not accurate. You have entered a warp lane. Get in the right lane. We're in the warp lane, guys. From this lane, you must steer the Star Spray into another dimension. Hang on, we gotta go to another dimension? Does he mean galaxy? Another dimension? Wait, we don't have to do anything then. If it's in another dimension, it ain't gonna care. It ain't gonna matter to us in our dimension, is it? If it's in a parallel dimension, just leave it alone. It doesn't affect us. Wait, this... One more suitable for rapid galactic travel to Arak. Your best opportunities are probably time-space travel in the 4th dimension. In the 4th dimension. Guys, the fuck is that? Or light space travel in the 6th dimension. Guys, we're going better than 4th. We're in the 6th dimension. Each advantage over each other has also its own dangers. Will you travel time? What? Oh, it's time-space travel in the 4th dimension or light space travel. Ah! Still makes no difference. Guys, do you want to time travel or do you want to light travel? I mean, if you gotta go to another dimension, time travel ain't gonna help you, nor is light travel. You need, like, quantum engine dimension breaker. You know? You need to jump to the next dimension. Like, light travel ain't going to do it. And time travel is just going to send you back before all this happened. Mate, this is bullshit. I'm telling you. The maths don't work out on this. The first of many arbitrary choices. Right, Yellow says we're going to do a bit of time travel. We're going to go back. We're going to meet our parents. Our mom's going to fall in love with us. Okay? And Biff Tannen's going to rule Enselina. So we're doing time travel, guys. Now it's turned into the plot of Endgame. Mate, so many films that have come out have ripped off Sky-Lord, sorry. How bad can this be if everyone's ripping it off? Just saying. You manipulate your ship's controls. I'm flying a spaceship. And enter the fourth dimension. We're in the fourth. Do you know what? We see... do you know what? I wish I had time to explain all the dimensions to you. But I can't. Right now, you're seeing me in a 2-dimension. I live in a 3rd dimension. But there's like 4 or 5 multiple dimensions above that we just can't even fathom. Oh. But I'm living in a 2-dimension for you guys. You know? Knock, knock. Can't get out. Let's rip off all the shows. No, it's not it's not this ripping it off. It's the other shows ripping this off. This came out in 1988. Way before all those other ones came out. Right. Yeah. Outside colors swirl, the usual warp speed, cross-dimension bullshit. We're going to Arak. It will take about 6 minutes real time to reach the planet, which is back in time. So we're going back in time. We're time traveling. We're time traveling. I actually didn't say if we were going back in time or forward in time. So, but we're not going to be married up with the events that have happened in our real time back on Enselina. It's going to be like thousands of years later or thousands of years previously if we're time warping. 6 minutes real time, that's probably like 600 years or 6,000 years. Anyway, after 2 minutes, however, you notice a fuzzy purple blotch spreading over your starboard thruster. Whoops. It's some kind of space weed. Hey, we got space weed, guys. We go sideways in time. Guys, you fancy a bit of space weed? It's growing on one of the thrusters. It's good shit, Matt. It's good shit. Interdimensional space weed. May this will blow your mind into the 7th dimension. Oh, man. Space weed is growing rapidly in the fertile time warp energy field. Do they even know and understand what they're writing? The fertile time warp energy field. So, yeah. The energy field surrounding our time warping bubbled ship is growing weed on it, basically. Best book of the series. Rest my case. Maybe what? Because of space weed. Guy, I'm actually been enjoying this book more than most others. So, Ramsey, right now I'm with you, mate. If it is allowed to spread further, it may choke the thruster. So, we're traveling through time right now, or time warping with thrust. The thrusters are still going. How much fuel have we got on board? Because we're going to run out. Like, anyway. It's going to choke the thruster and destroy the spacecraft. But on the other hand, a premature jump into real space would enable you to cut the fungus off. Could also prove perilous. So, are we just going to ignore the fungus and let it grow as we continue towards the planet? Or are we going to shut down the time warp drive, And in order to leave the ship and start hacking off the weeds, what you want to do, guys, you want to just continue on and let space weed grow? Or do you want to stop and repair first? Shut it down! Ramsey says shut it down. That was a quick one. Right, so we're going to exit the time-space warp in order to leave the ship and cut the growth away. Okay. So, we could be anywhere now. There we go, we just landed. Whoa. Yeah. Spider. You re-enter real space and examine your spaceship. The fungus has grown to an enormous size, covering most of the starboard thruster and part of the fuselage. It has also changed to a light blue color. You may decide to leave the ship and cut it off, which is why we stopped our ship, or search for a planet and just pass through its atmosphere to burn it off. What do you want to do, guys? Are we going to cut it off, or do you want to get it burnt off? What do you reckon? I mean, burning it off means we don't have to leave our chair. We can sit in the same chair. We don't have to put on the spacesuit and go outside and start hacking with our little Swiss Army knife, you know. We can just let it burn off in the atmosphere like cool kings. What do you reckon? What do you want to do, guys? Greg says burn it off. Burn it. All of it. Right then, set our course for the nearest planet. It says it's called Dagobah. That'll do. Let's go towards it. There is an uncharted planet on your scan scope at a distance of 26 million miles. Have we got time for this detour? Setting your controls... Hang on a second. So, going at a time warp speed, which I've got to say is going to generate a lot of heat, doesn't kill the fungus, it makes it grow. So going through an atmosphere which generates a little bit of heat is going to burn it off. None of this makes sense. Setting your controls for cruise speed, it's going to take you about 5 hours to reach it. So on the way, you find yourself suddenly confronted by a broad silver stingray shaped ship, which is apparently just materialized from another dimension. So as we're traveling to the planet, another ship, you know, Star Trek shows up, Klingon spaceship from the film, you know, Voyage Home. And it's going to be a shootout, guys. It's a kind of ship often used by Felon Rangers. Palhon Rangers. A band of misguided galactic vigilantes. You must defend yourself against the attack. They have a rating of 5, so they're going to attack first. So, I guess they have to roll against their lasers, and if they hit, we lose 2 shields. So, he has a lasers of 5 and a shields of 8. So we roll 1 die for him. I rolled a 5. He misses. Isn't it 5 and below? Or is it... No, it's below. If you got to get below your score. It doesn't say equal to or less, does it? Hang on, let me go back to the rules here. Given your rating is greater than your opponent's, you will shoot first. No, roll 1 die if is less than or equal to. Right, so he has hit us. We've lost 2 shield pods, guys. We're down to 10. So now we get a turn, surely. We have to roll against ours, which is 4. Our laser rating is 4. So we have to get under 4 to... Right. I rolled a 1! Hey! Oh yeah, baby! So he loses 2. He's on 6. This is going to take fucking forever. So he now shoots back at us. He rolled another 5, so we lose another 2. So now we're down to 8. And we roll a 3, so he loses another 2. He's down. He had 6. He's now down to 4. And then he rolls a 1. He gets a 1 as well. So we lose another 2. So that's down to 6 for us. Our shield pods don't go back up, though, do they? Hey, Leo, how's it going, mate? Welcome in. We're in a fight. Spaceships. Right, so we lost, so he's rolling. No, we're rolling now. We roll. We have to get 4, 5, or 4 or below. We have to roll. I rolled a 3, so he loses 2. He's on 2 now. He rolls. He rolled a 4. Still below. We're now down to 4. And we're gonna lose all our shields on the first battle. We're dead. So we're rolling now. He's got 2 left, so this could be it for him. You roll a 1, he's dead. Boom, gone. We win. Hang on. Does it say your shields come back to full power as well after the combat? You may reinstate your shields of your combat weapon to the value before combat began. So we're back up to 12, guys. Bloody hell, I'm going to run out of paper here. We're back up to 12 shields, guys. We killed him. We won. He's dead. Nice one. We just finished the intro, yeah. At about 20 minutes... No, about 10 minutes ago, we finished the intro. We've been reading it for like 30 minutes, mate. The enemy ship explodes in a spectacular ball of heat and light. You maneuver the star spray through the debris like a king. Yeah. Probing for survivors and spoils. One item which immediately attracts your attention is a droid, C-3PO, a spindly chrome robot of dwarfish proportions. Sorry, R2-D2. Its 3 faces have frozen in terror, and it clutches frantically to a buckled wing slack. A droid may be useful acquisition for your mission. These aren't the droids you're looking for. You pick it up in a mechanical grabber. Love it. Mechanical grabber. And pop it into your ship's hold. You also spot a curious device of iron tubes, glass rods, and slate cubes. Although you are unaware of its function, it looks very high-tech, so you scoop it up as well. So we're just picking up shit now. Presently, you close upon the planet, a majestic world of reds and greens, patched with swirling white clouds. Grazing the atmosphere, your craft begins to heat up, and it is not long before the space weed, burnt to fine ash, produces a trailing, fiery wake behind the star spray. No smoke in it then. But when you turn away from the planet towards space, your hull is suddenly pierced by a lightning bolt, surging from a cloud below. The cabin pressure drops rapidly as you fight to maintain control. A fire breaks out in an aft storage pod. Booster power fails and your ship plummets towards a ridge of scarlet hills, and a crash landing is imminent. Switching to manual glide, you steer yourself between 2 rocky pinnacles into a long narrow valley. Pestridge landing confirmed. Looming ahead is a dark lake, surrounded by trees and a bank of grey shingles. Will you try to land on the lake, or will you bank on the shingles? Lake or shingles, guys? How's it going, Leo? Is the water done? Don't worry, I got another. Yeah. What are we gonna do, guys? Land on a lake or land on the shingles? What do you think? We're going down, Captain. Hey, I'm the only one on board this ship. I've just realised. Got no crew to speak of. Is it a good idea piloting a ship into space on your own? Interdimensionally? Hey guys, what's going on? Guys, might need to refresh your page if you're falling behind. Are we going to be landing on the lake or on a bank of shingles? I don't think anybody wants to be responsible for making a decision of where we land. But somebody's got to. Somebody's got to. There we go. Ramsey says shingles. Let's land on those shingles. Don't forget, if you're a member of my channel, you can highlight your message, and I think you can only do it once, but you can highlight it and get priority, you know, for the decision making. With a wrenching screech and a splitting of stones, the star spray falls heavily on the shingles. It nose cone digs deep into the bank. The ship cartwheels and with a smack comes to rest beside a large tree. We lose 4 stamina points for that. Bad landing. Not another happy landing. Even worse to come, you stagger from the escape hatch only just in time as the tree, angered by your appearance of your craft, seizes it with an enormous gnarled root and hurls it far out in the lake. This is definitely Dagobah, just like in Empire Strikes Back. It seems that your adventure has already ended in disaster. We've lost our ship, guys. We're stuck on this planet. For a while, you sit disconsolately upon the bank, pondering your fate, going, how are we going to get off this planet? Then, and we're millions of miles away from Arak. Then, unexpectedly, you observe, wading from the lake, the 3-faced droid that you'd scooped up earlier. It's carrying the high-tech device you could not make sense of. I was lucky. The droid passes into some trees, the rim of a broad forest, and is lost to view. So he's just nicked our find. You may wish to follow the droid, or you can swim out to your ship to salvage some of the contents, or you may decide to set off up the Vale hoping to find a village and get help. So do you want to go walk and find help? Do you want to swim to the spaceship or follow the droid? What do you reckon, guys, is going to be the best course of action here? We've lost our ship in the boat. R2-D2's just nicked some cool device that we don't know what it is, and we're stuck on a planet, basically. So, are we going to go ask for help? K2SO took our stuff. K2SO? Oh, R2-D2, Rhymester. It's R2-D2. Who's K2SO? Is that the one from Rogue One? Follow R2. Right. We're going to follow the droid. I've lost the ability to whistle. For most of the day, you track the droid through the woodlands, cross tiny brooks and along rocky gullies. Quite obviously, he is familiar with the region. Curiously, although he is aware of your presence, his 3 faces give him all-round vision, and he makes no attempt to conceal himself. But when dusk approaches, the droid leaves the forest and vanishes behind a bluff of blue moonstone. When you follow, you can't find him or see him. Your only clue is a faint trail which forks left towards a spiny ridge and then right towards a steep incline. Will you follow the left path or the right path? Or do you want to continue trailing the base of the bluff? What do you reckon? The odds to catch R2D2 is 1,000,000 to 1. I thought that said Red Dead Redemption 2 for a second then. So what are we going to do? We're going to go to the left path, the right path, or continue trailing the base of the bluff? What shall we do? What do you want to do, guys? Left, says Maria. Hey, Tony, how's it going? We're going to the left path. Here we go. You follow a trail over a ridge and on perhaps for a quarter of a mile. Now, ahead you can see the droid again. Hey! He has been waylaid by a green mutant with arms extended from its cheeks and thighs. Arms coming out of its cheek and its thigh. I want to see a picture of this. You decide to attack it and rescue the droid. So we attack the green mutant who has a skill of 7 and a stamina of 6. We have a skill of 11 and a stamina of 15. So they have to -4 off their score. We attack first and we roll. Oh, fuck you! You serious, mate? You bloody serious? Literally the first fucking roll. Unbelievable. I don't believe it. Fucking hell, man. Sorry for swearing then. I'm so sorry if anybody's got kids in the room. But we just died. We literally ran to the mutant, tripped, and our laser sword seared us and killed us. And the droid is going to get buggered by a green mutant, basically. Unbelievable, that. I don't believe that at all, man. Seriously. I mean, what are the fucking odds of that? And it said, in the book, it said we attacked the mutant. So if the mutant had attacked us, maybe he would have got the double one. Fucking hell. Sorry. I was so sorry for my reaction of swearing, by the way. I'm so sorry. Like, that was my instinctive thing to say. Are you kidding me? You know? Like, I don't... Oh, for fuck's sake. Rubbish dice rolls. The bane of our existence. Stop the timer. We only lasted 56 minutes. And 30 of that was reading the introduction. 56 minutes this time, guys. Oh, mate, don't blame Maria. I don't even know who the hell Maria is. Tony, who's Maria? It ain't Maria's fault. It ain't Maria's fault. It's just not our day today. It might be a mercy kill to end. To be honest, I gotta... Oh, man, excuse me. Don't know where that came from. I gotta say, to be fair, I was enjoying that. Like, Skylord doesn't seem that bad. It's just like Ramsey says, a parody of Star Wars. Well, it's become a parody of Star Wars. Star Wars ripped off Skylord. But, I think it's your wife, mate. Oh, Maria. Maria. You gotta see her. I'm so sorry, Maria. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Okay? Blame Tony. Blame Tony. No, it's no one's fault. It's just the dice. It's the way of the dice. Honestly, it's just, you know, I introduced these rules to keep it interesting, and it's fucking killed us every time. You know what I mean? Can we reconsider the double one rule? Yeah, on the next book, on the brand new book, we will not be using the double 6 or the double 1 rule. Only because it's a new book and we want to play as much of it as possible. So that one, because the only reason I instate the double 6 and double 1 rule is because we've read all these books for decades. But for brand new books that we've never read because it's only just been released, there's no need for the double 6 and the double 1 rule. So definitely won't be using the double 6 and the double 1. Burn those dice. Yeah, I need to refresh my my dice here. Need to get some more. I might go to a casino and get some weighted ones, you know what I mean? Because they never roll snake eyes, do they? So you're not truly one of us till you've killed us. Yeah, exactly, Leo. Exactly. Maria, you're now one of us. Alright? You're one of the gang. Alright? One of the fighting festy fantasy basically now. So there we go, guys. Tell you that rule, man. It results in short streams. But that is the adventure of it. Like, we don't know when we're gonna end up either kill. Like, it has worked in our favor a lot of the times. We've rolled double 6s, you know, and it's killed the opponent instantly. You know, it's just snake ties us to a few more times, but it does benefit us. Oh, I just remembered I got a candle here. Oh no, the candle's here. Candle's not in its box. Oh, that smells nice. I might use that for next time. I don't know what it smells like. Like, it smells floral. Vanilla floral, you know? Oh, yeah, I'm going to use that. We'll use that for next time. We'll use that for our... came in this box. Nice little box. You can't see the box, can you? You're a hard case, Adam. Love the singing. Well, I'm glad somebody does. It is unbelievable. It is really unbelievable. You just can't catch a break now. Anyway, guys, listen. Check it out. I forgot to set this up. I should have done this before. I'm just trying to stall now. Guys, check it out. Need to save that in the appropriate location to now finally add it to where it belongs. So need to put a 1 after that, and that will save it in the appropriate place, my son. You know what I mean? Guys, guess what? Here it is. Next time. Picture don't fit. Picture's fucking too big. The adventure of... Oh, man. Hang on a second here. I should have worked this out before. Next week's book, guys. These aren't the books you're looking for. How big is this picture, Ian? Okay, now. There we go. That's the next one, guys. Right there. That'll do. That's our next book, guys. 2 weeks' time. Brand new adventure from Ian Livingston. The Dungeon on Blood Island. Look at that. That creature looks like the one we've just been fighting. The things coming out of its four arms. That looks like the creature we've just been fighting. We will see a blood beast in this one. Well, will we? Who knows what we're going to come across? Who knows? Like, is this like just after the dungeon? Is this a prequel? Is this just after the dungeon has just been created? Or is this a sequel to after, you know, like, I mean, it'd have to be after, what's it called? Something Army, in it. Because there is already a trilogy of these books. There's Death Trap Dungeon. There's Trial of Champions. And then there is another one called, which we haven't got to yet, so it must be down here somewhere. Oh, what's it called, guys? I've forgotten the bloody name of it. Armies of Death. Thank you, that's it, Flaming Heron. Yeah, so this is after Armies of Death. So this is the 4th in the series. Okay. This is after a rival dungeon, is it? New dice for new book. Yeah, I'm gonna track down. I'm gonna get some red dice. So, you know, it's like casino red. I'm gonna get some casino red dice for this for the new adventure. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if I use these ones because the 6 and the 1 rule won't be there. So, but yeah, I will get some new dice. Again, it's the set. I've already replaced it from the last lot. This is the second set of new dice. So I don't think it makes a blind bit of difference, the dice, guys. Seriously. So, anyway, that's that. So let's have a little chat, guys. As we say goodbye, we'll have a little nice 3-minute chat. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I love you all. And I cannot wait to read the new book in 2 weeks' time. Honestly, it's going to be a long 2 weeks. Because, honestly, it's going to feel like it takes forever to get there. So, while we do that, I'll say ta-ra. But we will have a nice little chat first. That's too big now. What's happened there? Oh, we'll leave it. So we'll have a little chat, guys, yeah? As we wind it all down. As we say goodbye. Goodbye. Da 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 da. We actually start on Blood Island in the Trail of Champions. Mate, I've never read that book. What's the Trail of Champions, Rhymester? I've heard of the Trial of Champions. The cover had better be better. That is the cover, Flamin' Heron. That is the cover. I'll try to hunt down a copy in the meantime. Just come back. Did we die? Yes, we did die, mates. We rolled. So, Ramsey, mate, are you probably unaware of this rule? So, to make things interesting, because we've read these books dozens of times, anybody who rolls a double 1 instantly kills themselves. Like they fall on their sword or they trip up and bash their head. And if you roll a double 6, it's an instant kill for your opponent. So, there's an equal chance of rolling both. You know, for both us and our enemy. So, it just makes it a little bit more interesting because, you know, we've read these books dozens of times. We know the pathway through. So, we have to give it that, we still have to give it that little bit of, do you know what I mean? You've been here for yonks. You changed your name. What was your name previously, Ramsey? Who were you before, mate? I'm interested here. I've been here for yonks. Just changed my name. Who were you before Ram Street? I call you Ramsey, by the way, because Ramsey Street, neighbours in Australia. That's the only reason I call you Ramsey, by the way. You don't have to answer me quick, mate, because you've got 30 seconds left. Tim Street. Oh, it's Tim. Ah, he's sausage. Guys, thank you for coming, guys. This is it now. We're ending. 20 seconds left. Thank you so much. And I'll see you in 2 weeks' time, guys. Alright? Take care. Bye.